This evening, I'm very excited about my special guest tonight. He's a true Las Vegas headliner, a worldwide superstar. You've probably seen him on America's Got Talent. He won. There's only 7 people in the world that have won that show. They're going into their 8th season, and his story is fantastic. His music is great. He's a Las Vegas superstar without all the glitz and the schmaltz. He does it with his heart, his voice, his music, and his spirit. And I'm really excited to have him on the program tonight. Michael Grimm on the streets of rock and roll. You're on the streets of rock and roll. Thanks for watching. If you haven't tuned into the program yet, and this is your first time, you picked the perfect time to get with the program. Very excited about my special guest tonight, I mentioned him in the intro. Michael Grimm on the streets of rock and roll. Give it up. Michael, welcome to the show, man. It's great to have you here. We met once before, but through the last week of getting ready for you to be on the program, I feel like I've gotten to know you through your music, listening to your albums, watching your video clips, and just getting to know you as a person. I want to share that with the people in the audience. Man, you seem like, as an international superstar, very humble, well-spoken, down-to-earth kind of guy, man. And so it's really an honor to have you here.
The introduction you gave to me, you made me sound bigger than what I thought I was. I didn't know I was that big, actually.
Well, you are, man. You are. I mean, it's a historic achievement. Only 7 people in history have ever won America's Got Talent. And for just a guy who with his music, without all the flash and the glitz and all that, to go up there with your voice and your music and win that thing, man, it's pretty impressive. How do you feel about having that tag every time you're promoted at a show, and even on our show when we got you on tonight, winner of America's Got Talent? Is that something that you're real proud of, or you wish you could get past that tag?
It was always scary when the shows came around, American Idol and whatnot, and really not knowing what they were going to do with the artists, how the artists were going to come out of these shows. So I was always afraid to go after one of those shows. I never tried out for American Idol as a result, and I never thought I'd be trying out for America's Got Talent. But the years of watching the show and how it progressed, you know, and all these other ones evolving from it, I thought I'd give it a shot when someone called Judy Alberti from the show, and Judy contacted me saying, look, you know, go and do this little cattle call that they're putting together and see if you can get on the show. It'll help you. I went and tried out, and I didn't get on the show, and I said, you know, they didn't call me, so I went on the road with Bill Medley and played guitar with him, and the next year they called me for that next season going, just come out to Hollywood, can you be there next day? And I was in the front of the judges the very next day, and I didn't really want to keep going all the way. I just wanted to be seen once, you know, to be honest. I wanted to be seen so I can get a career going, so I can help my grandparents and do that. So, but I figured if I won the money from the show, I don't need it. You know, I'm a young man, but my grandparents and all of my family, they lost so much in Katrina, and they're still coming back from that. Nobody outside of that area really knows the impact that storm made, and they're still suffering down there. So I was able to help my grandmother out with the money I won from the show, but I really didn't want to win, and I didn't think I was going to, and it's all been a really big surprise, but I'm very humbled by it all, and that is the only show that America does get to vote fully, nobody else, and it's very humbling to know that America voted for me.
What the ultimate level of success, not just winning the show, but doing something for your grandparents, that is the meaning of success right there, being able to help the people that you love.
They did a lot for me.
It's a great story, and I'm just very, very impressed by the audition when you went on the show and just knocked them dead, man, and standing ovation. Nobody even knew who you were at the time. Speaking of shows, we're on TV here. This isn't your first TV show. It's a very well-known fact that you proposed to your lovely wife, Lucy, on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I'm wondering if you have any surprises in store for us here tonight on the streets of rock and roll. He's thinking about it.
Okay. No, it was years ago. She said to me, I don't care where we get married at. She says, but the proposal better get good or you're going to have to try it again. And so I thought that was a good opportunity when I was on Ellen to propose to her.
It was an amazing moment, and something that was cool that you could share that with America and all the viewers. I want to talk about your new Las Vegas show that you've got in production now. You're creating a new show for us here in Las Vegas called Fairy Tales. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Fairy Tales, it's a spin-off my name, you know, Michael Grimm, and you know, Fairy Tales, it's going to be the story of my life, you know, from the muddy roads of Mississippi to the dusty roads of the West, and all of the freight trains I've had to board in between there to get my career where it is, you know, and the dues I've had to pay.
That's awesome. Well, it's a story that I want to hear and see, and I hope that we can announce your debut here in Las Vegas soon. Certainly want to talk about your latest record, because I've fallen in love with the music over the last week as I've gotten to know you through these albums. Michael Grimm's got some great records. You can go to michaelgrimmmusic.com and check out some of the wonderful music that this guy has created. And not only did he create the music, let's get a close-up of this if we could. He actually painted the album cover himself. This is his last CD, Gumbo, came out last year. Tell us a little bit about the music and about this record.
Well, as you can see, my hands have paint on them. I can't get these off right now.
Yeah,
I've been in my workshop.
What are you doing in your garage?
Well, this is all I do. I'm an artist, you know, so I write songs and I paint, and when I'm not writing songs, so I've got to be doing something, you know. I cannot be doing nothing. And creating, you know. And the album, I was inspired by Don Was when I worked with him on the album prior to that came from the show.
Don Was one of the most amazing producers in the business, and he has a lot of things to say about you
and
as well.
Honor to work with Don Was too, and he inspired me. You know, when we cut the album with him, we did it all live. Waddy Wachtel, Kenny Arnoff, some really great musicians, and and it was all live. It was something they don't do in studios today much anymore. You know, all of it's digital, and you don't have to be live. You can lay it and piece it down. But we wanted to capture the realness, you know, of a live band.
That's a thread that goes through everything that I've heard, man. Everything you've done. To me, it's one word that describes it: is real.
Well, I took that inspiration and moved it onto the Gumbo album, and I did the artwork from there, and hired some great musicians out here, guys I look up to: Jim Buck, John Wiedemeyer, Bruce Wallace, you know, Dave Hart's on the album with me, and we all just set up in my room with acoustic guitars and sat around and played it live.
Wow.
And had a great time.
That sounds great, man. Highly recommended. michaelgrimmmusic.com. You got some big shows on the horizon. When this show airs, you're going to be on your way to St. Louis for a headline spot at the Bay Harbor Fest. I know you're looking forward to that, and I hear you're going to China later this year.
I hear I am, yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing, man.
I
think the best is yet to come for you. I know you've accomplished more than most guys do in a lifetime, but I think the best is yet to come for you. You're a great musical spirit. I really appreciate you being on the program tonight, and I'm looking forward to our next segment where Michael Grimm will actually sing and play for us live here at Club Fortune Casino on the streets of rock and roll after this.